A 9-year-old girl entered a biker bar, clutching a loaded gun. She demanded to know which of the assembled men was her real father. "My mom's dying," she announced, her voice trembling slightly. "One of you guys is my dad, and I have 3 days to find him before they stick me in foster care." Jack, the president of the Iron Demons, slowly rose to his feet. "Put the gun down, sweetheart," he said, his tone gentle but firm. "Not until someone admits they're my father," the girl cried, her voice cracking with emotion. "Mom said he'd be here, and she's never wrong." "What's your name?" Jack asked, his eyes filled with concern. "Lily Chan," she replied, her voice a little steadier. "My mom is Rebecca Chan, and she said she used to bartend here 9 years ago." Every single biker in that room remembered Becca. She was beautiful, intelligent, and the only woman who had ever left their world unscathed. She had vanished one night without a word. Now they finally understood why. "Where's your mom now, Lily?" asked Tank, the club's enforcer, his voice unusually soft. "St. Mary's Hospital, room 507. She's dying because her boyfriend pushed her down the stairs." The temperature in the room seemed to plummet 20 degrees. "But she won't tell me who my dad is," Lily continued, her small hand wavering as she held the gun. "She just said, go to the Iron Demons bar and show them this." With her free hand, she pulled out a photograph. It showed Becca, looking 9 years younger, at a Christmas party with 5 bikers. One of those men was Lily's father. Jack recognized everyone in the photo. 3 of them were in the room at that very moment. "My real dad would protect me," Lily whispered, her voice barely audible. "But I don't know which one. And Mom won't say because she's scared of someone." "Scared of who?" Jack asked, his brow furrowed. "Her boyfriend, Marcus. He's a cop, and he said if she tells anyone about my real dad, he'll kill us both." A corrupt cop threatening a dying woman and her child. This situation had just become incredibly complicated. "Lily, I need you to put the gun down so we can help you," Jack urged, his voice calm and reassuring. "No, someone has to be my father," she cried, tears streaming down her face, but she kept the gun raised. "I can't go to foster care. Marcus's friend runs the group home, and he already told me what happens to pretty little girls there." The implications of that statement sent a wave of rage through every biker in the room. Each man felt a murderous intent rising within him. If you believe bikers are the good people, subscribe to this channel and show us your support. Snake, their tech expert, was already working on his laptop. Marcus Thompson, detective with Metro PD. 3 complaints of excessive force, all dismissed. "Internal affairs won't touch him," Snake continued, his fingers flying across the keyboard. "He's protected by Captain Walsh. Walsh runs that foster home charity," Tank growled, his voice filled with disgust. "The one that's been in the news for missing kids." Jack noticed something crucial. Lily was holding the gun perfectly. Proper grip, finger off the trigger unless ready to shoot. "Who taught you to hold a gun?" Jack asked, his eyes narrowed in thought. "Mom did." Her voice broke as she added, "She said I might need it one day." Jack made a decision. "Lily, I'm going to tell you something important. We're all going to be your father until we figure out which one really is." "That doesn't make sense," Lily protested, confusion etched on her face. "It does in our world," Jack explained, his voice firm. "You came to us for protection, and that's what you'll get from every man here." "But the DNA test takes 2 weeks," Lily interrupted, her voice filled with despair. "Your mom has 3 days. We don't need DNA to protect you," Jack stated, his gaze unwavering. Lily finally lowered the gun slightly. "You promise?" "Iron Demons don't break promises to children," Tank said, his voice filled with conviction. That's when they heard the sirens. Multiple cars were getting closer. "Did you call anyone?" Jack asked Lily, his eyes searching hers. "No, but Marcus has a tracker on my phone." "Give me the phone," Snake commanded, his hand outstretched. Lily handed it over. Snake destroyed it immediately. "Too late," Razor announced from the window, his voice grim. 8 cop cars surrounding us. Detective Marcus Thompson strutted in like he owned the place. He was tall, muscled, with dead eyes that lingered too long on Lily. "There you are, sweetie," he said with a fake smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Time to come home." "She's not going anywhere with you," Jack stated, his voice cold and unwavering. Marcus laughed, a harsh, unpleasant sound. 23 bikers with criminal records against 8 police officers. "You sure about that?" "She's mine," said a voice from the corner. Everyone turned to see Wolf, the quietest member of their club. He was 6'5", covered in scars, and never said much about his past. "Excuse me," Marcus said, his eyes narrowing. "Lily is my daughter," Wolf stated, his voice low but firm. "I want a DNA test to prove it." Marcus's face darkened, his features contorting in anger. "Doesn't matter. Her mother has legal custody, and I have power of attorney while she's incapacitated." "Power of attorney?" "He forced her to sign it while she was sedated," Lily said loudly, her voice filled with accusation. "Prove it," Marcus challenged, a sneer on his face. That's when Dr. Patricia Kim walked in. She had been sent by the little girl's mother. "I can prove it," she announced, her voice clear and confident. "I'm Rebecca Chen's doctor, and she's awake and talking." Marcus went pale, his eyes wide with disbelief. "That's impossible. Her injuries were serious, but not fatal. She's been conscious for 2 hours, telling us everything about how you pushed her down those stairs." Dr. Kim interrupted, her voice unwavering. "She's clearly confused from head trauma," Marcus said quickly, trying to regain control of the situation. "The security camera footage isn't confused," Dr. Kim replied, her voice filled with triumph. "The one you didn't know existed in the stairwell." Marcus reached for his gun, his face a mask of desperation. 23 bikers reached faster. "Think carefully," Jack warned, his voice dangerously low. "You're surrounded, and your fellow officers are outside wondering why you're taking so long." Marcus's radio crackled. "Thompson, you need backup in there?" He grabbed it. "No, just talking to the girl." But Lily grabbed Jack's phone and dialed 911 before anyone could stop her. "You little brat." Marcus lunged for her, his face contorted with rage. Wolf caught him midair and slammed him into the wall so hard that pictures fell. "You touch my daughter, you die," he growled, his voice filled with primal fury. "She's not your daughter," Marcus snarled, his eyes blazing with hatred. Marcus pulled out his radio. "All units, we have a hostage situation. Bikers holding a minor against her will." "Liar." Lily screamed, her voice filled with terror. The cops outside started moving in. This was about to become a bloodbath. That's when something unexpected happened. Becca Chen walked through the door. She was supposed to be dying in the hospital. Instead, she stood there in a hospital gown, looking like death but standing anyway. "Mom!" Lily ran to her, tears streaming down her face. "Nobody moves," Becca commanded, her voice surprisingly strong. She looked at Marcus with pure hatred. "I recorded everything. Every threat, every beating, every sick thing you said about my daughter." She held up a small recorder. 2 years of evidence, including you admitting to killing 3 foster kids who tried to report the abuse. Marcus went for his gun again, his eyes filled with murderous intent. This time, Lily was faster. The 9-year-old girl shot him in the shoulder. Perfect aim, just like her mom had taught her. Marcus collapsed, screaming in pain. The cops rushed in, guns drawn. "Stop!" commanded a new voice. Chief Reynolds walked in with internal affairs. "We've been investigating Thompson for months. Ms. Chen's recording is the evidence we needed." They arrested Marcus while he bled on the floor. Captain Walsh was arrested an hour later at his home. But the question remained. Who was Lily's father? "I caught him." You just click like and subscribe to this channel and show us your support. Please like and subscribe. Becca looked at the 5 men from the photograph, her eyes filled with uncertainty. "I need to tell the truth. I don't know which one is her father." Becca admitted that December had been complicated. No judgment. These men understood complicated. But I know who I want it to be, she continued, looking at Wolf, her gaze filled with longing. Why him? Jack asked, his brow furrowed. Because he's the only one who visited me in the hospital 9 years ago when I was pregnant, she explained, her voice filled with emotion. He brought me flowers and said if I ever needed anything, just ask. Wolf's scarred face softened. His eyes filled with tenderness. I remember. You never asked why I was pregnant, Becca continued. You just asked if I was okay. Were you? Wolf asked, his voice filled with concern. No, I was terrified and alone. But you made me feel safe. The DNA test would take 2 weeks, but it didn't matter anymore. She's mine, Wolf stated, his voice filled with conviction. DNA or not, Lily is my daughter now. You can't just decide that. Marcus coughed from the floor, his voice weak but defiant. Actually, he can, said another cop, his voice surprisingly supportive. Emergency custody can be granted to any suitable guardian when a parent is incapacitated. He looked at Wolf's criminal record on her tablet. Veteran, Purple Heart, honorable discharge, no violent crimes, just some minor drug possession 10 years ago. I got help, Wolf said quietly, his eyes filled with remorse. Been clean 9 years. 9 years. Right when Becca got pregnant. But Lily had one more surprise. She pulled out another photograph, this one hidden in her sock. It showed a biker holding a baby at the hospital, but the face of the biker was not visible in the picture. Mom kept this, Lily said, her voice filled with emotion. She said, my dad held me once when I was born but had to leave. Wolf's eyes filled with tears. That's me. That's me holding you. Becca nodded. Her voice choked with emotion. You said she was perfect and deserved better than this life, so I ran. I tried to give her normal. But normal became Marcus, Wolf said darkly, his voice filled with bitterness. I failed her, Becca cried, tears streaming down her face. No, Lily said firmly, her voice filled with love and gratitude. You taught me to shoot. You gave me that gun. You knew I'd need it someday. I taught her too well, Becca admitted, her voice filled with remorse. She could have killed him. But she didn't, Jack noted. She shot to disable, not kill. That's control. The DNA results came back 2 weeks later. Wolf was Lily's biological father. But by then, it didn't matter. The entire Iron Demons had already adopted her. She had 23 fathers, all teaching her different things. Jack taught her strategy. Tank taught her strength. Snake taught her computers. Razor taught her mechanics. And Wolf, he taught her what she needed most. How to be loved after trauma. How to trust after betrayal. How to be strong without losing gentleness. Becca recovered fully and married Wolf a year later. The wedding was in the bar where Lily had walked in with a gun. Marcus Thompson got 25 years for attempted murder and corruption. I'm in prison because of the bikers. If you love this video, click the like button and subscribe. Captain Walsh got life for the 3 dead foster kids. The foster home was shut down. 47 children were rescued. Lily became the youngest honorary member of the Iron Demons. She wore a special patch, Protected Princess. But she wasn't a princess. She was a warrior who'd saved herself and her mother with courage nobody expected from a 9-year-old. The Iron Demons still tell the story of the night a 9-year-old girl walked into their bar with a loaded gun and desperation. How she found not just her father but an entire army of protectors. How sometimes blood doesn't make a family. Sometimes, family is 23 bikers who choose to stand between a child and evil. And sometimes, a little girl with perfect aim saves everyone, including herself. The gun Lily carried that night is mounted on the wall of the bar. Now, below it, a plaque reads, December 15th. The night Lily Chun walked in alone and gave 23 demons a reason to be angels. Wolf looks at it every day and remembers. Not the fear, not the violence, but the moment his daughter chose him before DNA ever could. That's what real family does. They choose each other again and again, no matter what blood says. And sometimes, they walk into your life holding a loaded gun, desperate for help, and change everything forever. If you believe bikers are the good people, subscribe to this channel and show us your support.